Hello there, my name is Gertrude or Josh, and I've got a video for you today. Have you ever been really excited to play a character, written out your backstory, prepped it, been so excited, got to the session, had the DM yeet it into the bin like it never existed? I am here to solve that problem. These are Gertrude's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tips to writing a backstory your GM will love. And that's my opinion, but these are the things I always look for whenever a player sends me their backstory. I look for these things, and if I find them, they're going in my good books. Let's get to the points. Point number 1, keep that thing short. Lazy DMs, like me, have to read books and books and books and books to even run one session of a campaign. So if you give your DM a 10-page novella in the first session, I can promise you they're going to have a look on their face like a mind flayer who didn't get his brainios that morning. It's a DM joke, yeah. Subscribe for more. I've got more. Subscribe. 2, give your DMs little tidbits they can use. What I'm looking for are little tidbits that I can take to use in my game. Take one of the old tropes. Destructo. Darkblade's parents and all his friends died in a town on the other side of the world. This doesn't help me as a DM because the characters are dead. And this town is 1,000,000 miles away, and it's not that interesting to begin with. This sounds like an exaggeration, but it applies to many backstories I read. You know, even if you change it, just change it a slight bit, move it around. Even if the parents are missing, you get the same tragedy, and I can still put old Pappy Darkblade in whatever positions I goddamn choose. The same goes for the town. Give it a name, put a character or two in it that might travel to other places and have their own stories. This gives the DM they can really bite their teeth into. There. 3, make it with the squad. So, I tell you what, and no other points I make in this video will be anywhere near as important as this one. No story you tell outside of the game will be anywhere near as fun and long-lasting as a story told in the game between you and your friends. So why not incorporate that spirit of community storytelling into your own backstory? How do you do this? It's so easy. It's so easy. All you do, you make your backstory with your friends. Boom! Bomb drops. Work out how your team will meet among the group and work out why you're working with some of them. Are you friends? How did you meet? And also work out if you've got beef with any of them, because then it can create some really interesting stories when one or the other is relying on each other to help. Also, come up with why, despite the fact that you have beef, you are working with these people, because that creates an interesting layered party, rather than making it, well, I arrived at the tavern and they looked interesting in the corner, so I went and sat with them. Because, you know, it works, and the DM will go along with it, but if you've done that work for him, he can tell that you've put investment into your character, and if you put investment in, you'll get investment out from the DM. Right, how about this? You look across the table, you make eyes with your pal, your buddy on the other side of the table, and you say, my character's your character's brother. And then from there you can have an interesting relationship where your two characters are very different but have grown up in the same family, perhaps different reactions to a type of parenting that was negative. From there you can create really interesting stories, and your characters don't have to be similar at all. One of my favourite games, right? I played another character in the game, Son. I was a little fat child named Charlie Chance. He was called Fat Chance. I'm so good at names. And it was funny because I always got the father in trouble. He was always chasing after me, trying to save me, casting teleport spells away from me so I didn't run into the middle of the fire. It was brilliant. And that became because of that familial bond. We could have been two separate characters, but we were improved by that piece of backstory. And that came out in the table from talking to each other and deciding that's what we wanted to do. Do it in your games. The DM will thank you for it. Number 4, ask your DM about the game world before you write your backstory. Ooh, this one gets me hot under the collar. If a player asks me, how can I put my character in your world, I can guarantee you that that character is the character that's getting a plot line or references to their backstory in my plot. This isn't because of favoritism, it's because they've already got a place in the world. I've told them how their character fits into that world and they can build their character around that. On the other hand, if someone comes up to me and says, oh, we're playing Mystic Odysseys of Theros, yeah. Hope you're cool with my Warforged Mystic who's jumped from a spaceship and he has guns and he's landed here like Master Chief and he looks like Master Chief and he has an AI companion called Torkana and he is fucking Master Chief. I'm gonna be mad. I'll be mad. If you can't tell. That brought up some stuff for me. I need a break. 5. Make your backstory part of your characterization. So, this might seem like obvs or whatever, but if you grew up on the streets and you've written that in your backstory, then maybe use some street slang while you're talking to people. If you grew up in Waterdeep, always call money dragons because you can't get out of the habit. Or, if you're from Sigil in Planescape, do what Commander Holly did and use the word jink to mean money, or use word body when talking about people. Because that creates an image of a character that has existed long before the campaign started. And if you're that invested in your character, the DM can't help but be. And that is how you get a plotline in the game. So, that's my 5 tips. If you want more, click subscribe down below and I'll post some more videos. Even leave a comment and tell me what you want to see, because I'll make it, because I've got good advice. See you next time. Oh god, I really need a haircut. That's all from me. Like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram for homebrew projects and what I'm reading, all that general jazz. Team Need a Haircut. Signing out.